Hi guys, my name is Liz, and I'm starting this channel to kind of bring awareness in regards to psychics, in regards to mediumship, and all of that. But I first wanted to get into the history because it's pretty much something you want to know about your psychic before booking anything with a psychic is history reviews, things like that. So I'll start with the history and then I'll get into myself. I don't have a long line of psychics in the family, but I do have one in particular, my grandmother, and she has passed on probably about 5 years ago. Prior to her passing, she was very Roman Catholic, and Roman Catholics do not believe in psychics or anything like that. We tend to be considered the devil's work in that aspect because we're looking forward to something that we shouldn't be looking forward to, which is one of the main reasons a lot of people tend to dismiss what I do. But with saying that, I do have and have always known my grandmother to do the psychic thing, but she decided to put a little bit of a different spin on it. And I'm not sure who she learned this from. I was never able to ask her. But she used to take her rosary beads, pray, and then she would take her Bible, close her eyes, and point at a passage, and then she would relay it to the question asked. And she was fairly accurate from what I was hearing. And maybe about a year prior to her going into a nursing home, her and I had a very small discussion, but she had indicated to me that she would she wanted me to kind of step into her shoes because she felt an ability from me. I thought she was absolutely crazy. At that time, I was pretty young, didn't really look at life in a positive way at that point in my life. And so when her and I had discussed it, I said, okay, thanks, and let it be. Coming from a big Portuguese family, my grandma had probably about 37 grandkids, and I believe that's the number, something along those lines. But moving forward with that, she then passed, and it was sad, but expected, being that she was in a nursing home at that point. And when she passed away, my grandmother had been consistently preparing for her death. Prior to death, she purchased all of what she needed so that nothing could be, I guess she kind of wanted to go out with a bang, and she wanted to make sure that every detail she wanted for her funeral, since it was very important to her, would go off without a hitch. So she purchased everything prior to death, including clothes, and gave very specific instructions as to how she wanted her funeral to go. So I was at home. She had just passed away, I'm going to say about 18 hours previous to the time at hand. And I was sitting there, and I remember this very vividly, and hearing a voice in my head saying, make sure my funeral is good. I want to make sure it's perfect before I go. I looked very forward to this. This is my exit, and I want to make sure it's perfect, and I want to see who shows up. So right away I kept that to myself. I didn't want to say anything. But as the days rolled around and when her funeral did take place, she was making comments like, I'm surprised that your mom put so much effort into the funeral. I guess she really did love me, and I'm surprised that this person came, and oh wow, people care about me. I'm surprised, which is very much like my grandmother. So when she kind of did that, I decided that I had that ability inside of me, but it freaked me out and I hid it. So I put it away, and I ignored any other spirits that may have tried to contact me. My grandmother was very persistent, consistently talking to me. So from there, I decided to continue on because I did already dabble in doing tarot, but not very much. And I continued to do it, and surprisingly accurate. And I continued to do this slowly. I didn't have a business. I didn't have a business plan. I didn't do anything along those lines. But I did want to make sure that what I did was proper. So that is why it took me so long to get to the point I am today, because I didn't have the confidence level that I do now. So that is my introduction to my family history. In my next video, I will talk about a little bit more of me, and then we will get through that video as well. Okay, so I'll be back soon.